be here. Can we give it a big round of applause for the event today? Yes. What an amazing turnout. This is the first year they're hosting this, and you all came out, you all showed up. So thank you for your energy, your presence, and being a part of a historic event here in Clarkston, Georgia. So we thank you all for being here. So we just got done with a wonderful presentation on mental health, and now we're going to dive into a panel discussion because mental health awareness is very important in our community, and it's not talked about enough. Can I get an amen? It's not talked about enough, okay? And we're here to talk about it, and we're here to share experiences. We have 3 amazing women who are going to share their testimonies as well as their experiences. So first we'll allow everyone to introduce themselves so you know exactly who we're going to be hearing from today.
I want to introduce myself. My name is Messeret, Yohannes. Service in a community clinic, and I'm here to be part of this panel discussion. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to bring your question.
Hi, my name is Sigonish Gracie Geber Selassie. I go by Beloved, and I am an artist, and I'm currently a student, and I also advocate for mental health as someone who has been diagnosed with bipolar type 1, and I'm 22 years old, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi everybody, my name is Yohannes. I'm a licensed professional counselor and an autism mom and advocate as well. I provide online consultation, counseling, and coaching for everybody, including the Eritrean and Ethiopian community. Welcome, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Can we give our speakers a round of applause, please? Thank you. And I do want to note, this panel will be in English. However, we have an Amharic speaker and a Tigrinya speaker up here as well. So if you have a question at the end, you can raise your hand and you can ask it in those languages, and you can get information, or they'll be able to respond to it. So we'll dive right in. Studies show that 1 in 5 adults in the U.S. experience a mental health condition every year, yet less than half of them get treatment. So there's some disconnect happening, right? And that's one of the main reasons for that is the stigma tied to it. There's a big negative stigma tied to mental health. So if you all can chime in a little bit about why does the stigma exist and what can we do as a community to reduce that stigma and help our brothers and sisters out there.
Alright, so I personally believe, the main issue a lot of people do not reach out for mental health is because of the stigma, not to be labeled as commonly known as a crazy person, So a lot of people would rather just, hold it to themselves rather than just opening up because, they're afraid that they will be, isolated, or they will be discarded, or they won't be welcomed, from the family or friends or community gatherings. So a lot of people would rather just, keep it to themselves rather than opening up about their mental health issues.
I also think that this stigma around mental health comes a lot from simply ignorance. That's not in a negative way, just ignorance and the fact that we do not know, we were not taught how to respond to these types of behaviors, to these types of signals that to us, we're not sure what's going on. We just label it as crazy or they need to be prayed for. But in reality, there are clinical reasons that we need to learn and be able to observe and recognize. And I think once we're able to recognize those things, that can take away the stigma, because then we'll be informed. Then we'll know what it is, and we can call it like we see it.
That's where the stigma, especially in our community, we'll talk about it more, but especially just not knowing what it is and not knowing that we can treat it. Just like if you have diabetes, you can treat it. Mental illness or mental health issue also, you can treat it. That's mostly it.
I love that. And they always say, I think think you told me this before, but if you go to the doctor when your stomach hurts, why don't you go, for your brain? Your brain is an organ just like the other ones in your body. So treat your brain just like you would your heart, your lungs, your leg, right? How many of us have been to the doctor for something that hurt us before? Raise your hand. Everybody in here, right? I hope at some point in your life. And so it's important to get that seen. Sanga, beloved,
in this area of education on mental health is complete silence. And I think that's a big problem. I just wanted to mention that.